January 1, pag hindi nyo na-modernize yan, umalis kayo.
The end of the road for the iconic jeepneys. As the government pushes for its phase-out,
yung mga kritiko ng ating programa, sinasabi nila na, ano lang yan, piling-pili lang yan ng mga, yung mga big corporations, hindi ho. Yung ating mga operators can get their vehicles from where they want.
Some transport groups call the program anti-poor.
Halatang halata ang pinagkakabala ng DOTR, LTFRB, yung marketing program nitong mga mahal na sasakyan.
And from jeepney modernization to regulating car windows tint. What other traffic solutions are in store this 2018? Transport Undersecretary for Roads, Thomas Tim Orbos, joins us live. And later, revisit the highlights of 2017 in pictures. That's for today's In Focus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. Is it time to say goodbye to the so-called Hari ng Kalsada or the iconic Filipino jeepneys? The Duterte administration is bent on implementing the modernization of public utility vehicles as 2018 begins. Last year, the president had warned jeepney drivers and operators that their old units will be towed if these are still on the road by January. He also warned that drivers will be arrested if they resist. But the Transportation Department says the president's statement was merely an expression of urgency, and those affected operators and drivers can avail themselves of financing schemes. Transport groups are denouncing the plan, saying they cannot afford the modernization plan. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Transportation Undersecretary for Roads, Tim Orbos. Yusek, Happy New Year.
Happy
Good to
New Year,
see you again.
Happy New Year.
Matagal-tagal po tayo huli nagkita.
Opo.
Okay, but anyway, so modernization, the president was saying January 1, pag di kayo mag-modernize, umalis kayo. Ano ho ba? What are we expecting this first day? Well, January 2
Yes.
of 2018.
Ma'am, definitely, kami po sa Department of Transportation, we are following the instructions of the President, and we are implementing, as we speak, the first phase of the modernization program, which is the checking of the roadworthiness of all vehicles, to include not just jeepneys but all public transport. No? Yung po tinatawag natin na motor vehicle inspection system will be implemented. Meron na po dati yan. We had that before, but the thing is, it has always been a problem because of human intervention. What we have right now is an automated version of the MVIS.
What exactly is that?
The MVIS primarily checks the roadworthiness of vehicles, as I mentioned, and the machine itself will check around 60 points in a vehicle. Hindi lang po smoke emission. We're looking at the brakes, we're looking at suspension, we're looking at the lights. All these things that we need to assure ourselves are there in a vehicle for roadworthiness and therefore safety of our passengers.
There's a
and commuters.
machine now that can check all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is it?
It is now, we have 2 already because the first phase will be in Metro Manila. Meron na po in the central office of the LTO. LTO will be the one implementing it. And then another one will be at the LTO at the airport. Now we have 26 machines arriving within the first quarter of this year, and that will take care of the implementation nationwide.
Sir, you're telling me that all the jeeps and buses, all public utility vehicles, to be correct,
Yes,
sir, to be more accurate, have to do the MVIS.
Actually, all vehicles, but we're starting first with the public transport.
So let's be frank about this, sir. Kahit naman yung smoke belching, smoke emission test na ginagawa po ng kahit private vehicles, minsan po nadadaya yun.
In fact, non-appearance nga yung ginagawa eh. We know that, and that is why for the new rollout of the MVIS, we are not entrusting the results to human intervention, but rather to the machine itself.
But here's the problem that I see, sir. You said there's only 2.
In the meantime, but this will, the 2 will have 4 lanes, and 1 lane would equate to around 100 vehicles a day. So you have around 8, so that's around 800 a day. No, it's going to be, tedious, and we expect the 26 to arrive within the first quarter.
So the two machines can check 800 vehicles per day.
Per
Is that
day.
correct, sir?
Yes.
So what happens? Do the buses and jeepney drivers, operators, kailangan ho ba dalhin nila? Paano ho ang check-up ng
Kailangan nila
NBIS?
dalhin. When they register, they have to have their vehicles present. Unlike now, no, na alam naman ho natin yun, hindi ho na ho pwede yun. Hindi na ho, the one that will register and the one that will bring out the result is the machine itself, which is online. So hindi na ho talaga pipwede.
So, gagawin lang po nila yung MVIS upon registration.
Yes.
So that'll roll out until the end of the year, sir, depending on the ending of your plate number.
Yes, ma'am. But though when we see, meron na po kaming ginagawa sa Interagency Council on Traffic, that if we see a vehicle, a public transport vehicle that is smoke belching, has no lights, what have you, papatigilin po namin yan. We will ask them to go immediately to
Diretso.
the testing center.
Kailangan dumiretso na sila dun sa one of those two machines.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they don't pass, then they cannot continue applying the routes.
Yusek, so pag may makita kong, may jeep ho ngayon sa EDSA that's flying through EDSA that is 15 years older, what will happen to that driver of the jeep and the jeep?
Ma'am, the 15-year-old aspect, hindi na nga ho namin iniintindi muna yan because if we do, then all the jeepneys will have to go out. No? So we're looking at the roadworthiness. They will have to undergo that. Ang maganda po, even Mr. San Mateo and all the other transport leaders like sila Kaobet, si Ate Senin, Kaboy, all of them, Kalando, they agree that this is needed, no? Kasi talagang it's well, we know our mistakes, we know our shortcomings. Gabi, walang ilaw yung jeep. So what do we do, di ba? Now we have to go through this process.
So hindi na po importante yung 15 years and older. Hindi na po importante
Ma'am, I'm not saying hindi importante. Within the next 3 years, it will be the roadworthiness that will have to be considered primarily. After 3 years, then talaga na po we have to bring in the new jeepneys.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to the 3 years, sir, so for the short term. Kahit na po lampas ng 15 years, pero it passes the worthiness test, pasok po siya. Pwede siya.
Yes, ma'am.
So, hindi ho siya kailangan palitan ng bagong jeep. Tama ho ba?
Yes, within the 3 years.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. But the thing is, we will also allow them already to bring in their new jeepneys.
It's their choice.
It's their choice within the next 3 years.
Kasi pag sinabi pong, minsan ho kasi Yusek, sasabihin natin the iconic Jeep is on its way out, people are thinking, or I can easily think that in the next year or so, hindi ko na po makikita itong mga Jeep na to. But you're saying, andun pa as long as it's safe.
It's safe. It complies with the 60-point aspect that is being checked by the MVIS machine.
So the modern Jeep, sir, after 3 years, which is 20...
2020?
Okay, 2020, tama ho ba, wala na yung ganyang mga Jeep?
Wala na po.
Wala na yan?
Wala na po.
Papalitan na nung bagong Jeep, sir?
Ng bagong Jeep. So hindi naman mawawala eh.
Ito yung bagong Jeep, sir?
Yan po kasi ganito po yan. We are not really looking at a particular design. We're looking at the standards that was set by the Department of Trade and Industry. Yun po yung tinitignan. So we're not partial to any manufacturer or any design as long as they comply with what is being asked of them.
So the e-jeepney can look anyway. Any look is possible. Hindi ho ba mangyayari that there will only be 3 or 5 manufacturers that will be allowed to produce this?
No. As long as they comply with the standard set. In fact, the operators can even import if they want to. Wala naman nung nagsasabing hindi eh. I've even seen one...
Hindi ho ba mas magulo yun, Yusek?
Ma'am, fair trade practice. Hindi naman ho natin pwedeng i-dictate sa market what they can buy. So, as long as they comply.
Yeah.
Safety and convenience primarily for the commuters.
Okay, because, however, you said that there must be compliance. There are certain features in the Jeep
yes,
that
ma'am.
must be
Yes.
put in place. For example, sir, we have that on air, kailangan may dashcam. May kailangan may...
Well, may speed limiter, may dashcam, merong, the entrance must be on the side for safety measures. You can stand dapat sa loob, no? Right now, it's so hard to get inside the Jeep. But it's not Again, ma'am, the PUV modernization is not just about the vehicle. It's also about the ecosystem itself. The practice, the business practice. That ngayon po, where tali po tayo sa boundary, wala na po yan. Magpapasweldo na po yung mga drivers. So,
Kailan ho yun, sir?
we are starting it. In fact, ma'am, we started it last year. There was a soft launch in Tacloban. Hindi lang ho namin nabigyan ng highlight because there was a storm. No? But we started it last year. There is in fact, one organization that has been doing it, yung One Team. And they really show that they can make more money, not just for themselves, the operators, but even the drivers, if they do this. No? The thing is, ang laging tinatanong nila, mahal, and then malulugi kami. Hindi. If you have a bigger vehicle that carries 30 instead of carrying 16 that we have right now, if you have a more fuel-efficient vehicle that equates to 40% savings, and then if you have lesser jeepneys in a route, kasi i-rationalize natin yung routes, then you will have a better business efficiency as well.
Yusek, how many new or e-jeepneys are you expecting to ply the roads in 2020 pagka na-phase out na po yung old?
Ma'am, there are about 180,000 jeepneys that are doing the public transport route. So we have to migrate them lahat to the new jeepneys.
I guess I asked that, sir, because apart from, of course, I want to know how many will be plying the routes. Sabi mo kasi i-regulate nyo somehow yung ruta. So I'm
Yes.
thinking, would you need less jeeps, new jeeps in the future as compared to the 180,000 now?
There will be areas wherein we need to reduce because of the route rationalization program, but there will be also new routes that will be developed. So we will see it even out in the process. Walang mawawalan ng trabaho sa prosesong ito po.
But sometimes they say government keeps saying that, pero pag nangyari na po yung talagang, let's say, yung modernization, ay marami ho daw talagang nawawalan ng trabaho.
Ma'am, eto na lang po. The regular driver now would drive more than 14 hours a day. Dito po, we will not allow them to drive more than 10 hours. But they can have 2 shifts. Kasi disweldo na ho sila eh. And it will come out more efficient. No? So, hindi ho sila magmamadali, hindi sila mapapagod, which also causes not just a problem to safety, but also congestion. They'll fight for the same passenger.
Yeah.
Hindi po. Will manage their fleets. They will manage their fleets.
Magkano ho ba ang magiging sweldo nila?
Yung po, this is not coming from us. It's an existing business right now. The driver gets around 21,000 a month. Net yun. Plus the the benefits that you need, like SSS and
Magkano ho ba kinikita nila ngayon? Di ba mga 500 pesos?
500 pesos per day, but you're looking at how many hours of working, they need to pay for their gasoline, etc. So, eto na just concentrate on driving properly.
But also, I'd like to bring this in, sir, before we leave the story on the modernization. So at least it's clear to me, sir, kasi sabi ng Presidente, January 1, dapat wala na. So at least, malinaw po sa atin yan.
We're following the direction of the President. Talagang sinisigurado natin lahat ng bulok. Sinabi ni Presidente, i-use the term bulok. Tatanggalin na natin. Not just to the registration. Pag may nakita na po kami na hindi na talaga pwede, we will have to call their attention and bring them there.
But this is going to be a 3-year process, sir.
Ma'am, yes. Because if we don't do it 3 years, definitely, meron pong magsasuffer. And
Yeah. And Yusek, I wanted to bring this in, as I said before we go on break, because there will be, sabi niyo po, different kinds of jeepneys. Hindi ho sila all-in-one na magkakapareho po itsura. Pwede pong iba-iba ang manufacturer.
Yes.
But also, different sizes as well, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Depending
class
on...
1, Class 2, Class 3,
Yes,
Class 4.
it will depend on the routes that they will be given.
And to a certain point, sir, some of the jeeps, like ito po, Class 4, more than 22 passengers, all seated with cargo, jeep po yan.
Opo, ito po yung class 4, ang anong consideration dito, ito yung mga ginagamit sa probinsya. So yung pumupunta sa Kalinga, sa Mountain Province, na nakikita mo, the characteristic of that is that all passengers may dalang gamit. Dito sa Manila, wala
talaga.
naman. Probinsya ho talaga.
Yung iba naman yung pang-commute from work,
Yes.
ay from home to work.
The category 1 is the short route.
The shortest route. And of course, yung Class 1, ang pinakamura, sir.
Pinakamura at 7 to 800,000.
And class 4 is?
Class 4, mga 1.6 yan. Mga 1.6 to 1.8.
Are we expecting, though, authorities to be on the road beginning today, sir, to really check on jeeps plying, let's say, EDSA and other roads, major thoroughfares?
Ma'am, yes. But to be honest, ang concern namin ngayon yung pabalik ng, galing sa bakasyon.
Yun
Yung
muna.
ligtas biyahe. Pero, yes.
Okay, well-
Especially with the storm.
Yes, sir.
That we
That's
have,
right.
yeah.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Still to come, regulating car windows tint to ease the traffic problem. Transportation Undersecretary Tim Orbos will still be with us after the break. And a trip down memory lane. Watch the highlights of 2017 in photos. That's for today's In Focus. The traffic.
Oh, dito-
Brace yourselves. As we're live on Facebook, so people are still watching us. So,
Now?
yes, kasi pagka-break, we're live on Facebook and on television.
Okay.
Tuloy-tuloy, sir. So, next to our viewers, we're going to talk about the tint issue. Kung di nyo po alam, nung last na guest si Yusek, MMDA pa siya noon, sinabi niya po sa akin,
Dito na
pabulong, magkakaroon ng tint regulation. So that's something we need to talk about because madami pong kotse, madaming mga sasakyan ang nakatint. Okay. Yes. Tris? Tris? Hello? Yes.
115 pa.
Yung features, kasi sabi ko, ilagay natin sa graphics. Hindi ko nakita, kaya hindi ko na... Sige. Sige. Okay. Sure. Sir, balikan ko lang mamaya yung features ng new e-Jeep, yung free Wi-Fi. Ikaw naman.
Free Wi-Fi, sige.
CCTV, dashcam. Meron pang
may top card, and automated fare collection
Yun, wala
system.
na yun.
Wala na yung...
Abot-abot.
Saka mawawalan ng trabaho dyan yung mga barker. Oo. But,
Yung ganun.
Wala na yun.
So, ilan ba sakay ng jeep ngayon?
16.
Pero 8 pesos, at saka 8 pesos, asahan ba
8
nating
pesos.
tataas yung presyo?
Hindi. Well, mga 2 pesos ay tadagdag. But not yung sinasabi ng na 20 pesos.
Double. Okay. Balikan ko lang yung key features and then we're gonna talk about the tint. And sinabi na ni Yusek, brace yourself for more traffic this 2018. Good luck. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Transportation Undersecretary Tim Orbos. Before we leave the topic on the modernization of jeepney certs, also very interesting to talk about the key features of the e-Jeep. Tell us more about that, sir.
Convenience and safety of passengers, primarily. Convenience, you have the Wi-Fi, you have the, solar and electric power that will depend on the operator. It's not necessary as long as it complies with Euro 4. No? CCTV cameras for safety of passengers. You have the automated fare collection system, which will now...
wala na abot-abot ng pera.
Wala na. Speed limiter, for one. No? And then there will be an air-conditioned version, yung Category 3. And basically, it's more comfortable. It's PWD ready. And I guess, ang ano nga namin, what we're looking at, they come out this year, they come out this month. You will still have the old jeepneys. Let the people decide.
Sir, makikita na natin siya this month.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Ilan? Around how many will we see?
I would say, meron na pong lumista sa amin ng mga, siguro 500 plus.
Really?
Yes.
So we will see about 500 new. Is this just in Metro Manila,
No,
sir?
that's nationwide. So
All around
you
the Philippines.
Might not see it, but you'll notice it.
It's quite exciting, though, to see
Oh, yes.
those. I mean,
Oh.
that's something I'd like to see myself. And also very good nga, PWD-friendly na rin
Yes.
siya because nahihirapan po yung mga kababayan natin who have disabilities. And then, so, again, that is something to expect. 8 peso fare, kung lumabas po yung bagong e-jeepney, yung e-jeepney po, 8 pesos pa rin ho ba ang bayad?
Magkakaroon po ng increase yan depending on the fuel na tumatas naman yun. But it will not have an impact because it's new.
Why not, sir?
Lalabas po based on our studies, and this has been proven by a current business practice of one of the ones running it right now. Since you have more passengers, 16 ngayon, magiging 30, since you have a more efficient engine that will equate around 40% savings, then you have a more rationalized route, no, that will allow you to be more efficient. Lalabas din ho na, no? You'll make money on
But
this.
fuel prices are going up, sir.
Well, fuel prices, that we have no control, hindi ho ba? So, but it's not because of the new vehicles that will cause you the increase.
But just to be very accurate about it, sir, I know that's Congress's call that they approved very recently, of course, the train bill of the president, but you know, fuel prices will go up in the next 3 years, so
yes,
sir, exponentially. We're not talking about centavos here.
Yeah. One thing that makes it more expensive for fuel is that when a vehicle stops and go every now and then, titigil na po natin yon. They'll have their own stops at certain areas.
The routes will be more, siguro, mas permanent, sir. Na. All right, so tints. We're talking about car tints now, sir. Do we have a problem? Bakit ho ba pati ang tint ay papasukan na ng gobyerno?
Hindi naman po. It's been there all along. There were 3 regulatory basis before. Ngayon lang ho natin i-implement. But I remember mentioning this to you a year ago. And since then, there were several consultative meetings between the LTO, MMDA, and even the private sector on this. So whatever will come out, and we're planning to bring out we'll have one more consultation this month, this January, and then we'll come out with the final version. Definitely, it is a collection of, it's from a collective thought of people that are supposed to know what is really the requirement.
Why are we doing this? Why is government doing this?
Well, we're doing this for several reasons, and it's not just because of traffic congestion. Definitely the safety of both the passengers of the vehicle and even the ones on the street. It's for anti-crime. The police, PNP is supporting us on this, and anti-colorum for one. No? Yeah. You can see if you are on the south on SLEX, and if you see a van rushing with tint, definitely that's a colorum vehicle. So there is more plus than minuses. Now, we're not saying no. We're not saying wala ng tint. We're going to regulate it in the proper way that they're doing it outside the country.
How are you going to regulate it, sir? And I guess the question is, bawal na hubang tint?
Hindi po. We are allowing the tint provided that it meets the standards set forth by the LTO.
And the standards are?
The standards are, well, we're finalizing it, but definitely, wala na po sa harapan. No?
Ito, sir, yung ganito. Ito kasi yung mga tent, no? We looked at the possible, ano ho ba ang pwede? Pwede pa ang light tint, medium tint?
Yes, pwede yun.
Light. Sorry, umpisahan po natin doon sa sinabi nyo, ang harapan. Paano
well, sa harapan, we're not allowing, wala na po yung definitely first, public transport, bawal po yung tint. So all public transport. Second.
So pati taxi, bawal?
Yes.
Okay.
Pati ho yung...
Pati ang Uber, Grab, bawal?
Bawal ho yun.
Nako, so yung mga cars na private na nag-Uber at Grab, bawal na po?
Well, yes. Okay. Kailangan po yun for the safety of their passengers. No? The front door, front windshield, definitely na po yan. We may allow the 6 inches dun sa visor.
Dito sa taas?
Yes. That there is now that's now being debated on whether we will allow it. But definitely not the whole windshield. So
dapat ang windshield po, apart from the possible 6-inch, wala na?
Wala na.
Kahit light?
Wala na ho talaga. Wala na ho talaga. On the driver's seat and the passenger seat in front, mas light po than the one sa likod. Now, they will say, when will this be implemented? When you register your car. So, antayin po natin yan. But we need to do it. Hindi ho talaga pwede.
But to be fair about this, sir, we still don't know if light, medium, which is allowed and which is not allowed. Pinag-uusapan pa rin po.
Ang talagang bawal is the super black.
Okay.
Talagang you cannot see anything.
Balik natin yung natin.
And the one-way tint.
Yung parang silver.
Yes,
yun, yung parang metallic.
Yes.
Bawal po yung silver. So itong pinaka-dark sa dulo, sir, definitely.
Definitely.
Yung medium, baka pwede pa yan?
Medium, pwede po yan. Pwede po yan. Ma'am, the ones that have given us the proper standards are the manufacturers themselves of tints and the dealers themselves.
Well, let's put it this way, sir. If this is going to happen to those who are buying new cars, have plans to put tint on their cars, siguro mag-delay it first until lumabas po
yes,
yung
ma'am.
regulation.
In fact, that is the agreement with the dealers.
Yeah. And definitely, wag yun ang lagyan ng tint yung harap kasi siguradong bawal na yung harap.
We understand, lalo na po yung mga may anak na babae, yung asawa nila and all of that for crime and crime
Yeah, I wanted to
prevention.
talk about that, sir. Kasi kapag babae ka, driver ka, medyo minsan po mahirap din eh. Kasi nakikita ka sa loob ng kotse.
I think po, Mama, we understand that and we've given due consideration. That's why hindi naman natin pinagbabawal. Talagang the regulation itself will allow you na hindi ka rin naman makikita lang yung ano mo eh. For you to see more. And
Parang
then, yes.
imahe mo lang. All right. Before we go, very, very quickly, the USEC is already telling us to brace for more traffic this 2018, sir.
Ma'am, it's like this. We have about 5 years remaining in this administration, and definitely the President has pushed the government to really do the infrastructure projects needed. So we'll have all of this happening from this year up to the end of his term. And this will mean what? This will mean it is good, but at the same time, it's going to make traffic more congested so that we have to do our part as citizens. We have to help government in managing traffic by probably planning our day and then really helping out in all these things.
What we can.
And how we can help.
Dahil talagang lalala pa.
Oh, ma'am, just in Trinoma alone, you have the Common Station, you have the MRT7, you have the subway, you have about 4 bypasses na gagawin ng DPWH. What's the government doing? DPWH, DOTR, MMDA, LGUs will be doing a coordination effort on all these things.
All right. So, again, USEC, well, thank you so much for your time. So much happening. And we need to discuss this again siguro further, sir. We hope to see you again sooner than later than the last time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
USEC, maraming salamat po sa inyo. And Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. This is the SARS on CNN Philippines. Coming up, revisit the best Filipino moments of 2017 through photographs. That's for today's In Focus.